Hello everyone, I'm Stalker. And this story began with Mr. Max's father buying some strange things to unwrap in India. When he returned home, Mr. Max and Miss Katie greeted him joyfully. They rushed to film a YouTube video of the unwrapping of these gifts. But when they started taking everything out of the box, their joy vanished. The children were unhappy with the gifts. What kind of whistle was this? A turtle, a homeless Barbie, and what was that chili doing here anyway? They finally got to some stinking egg. Miss Katie refused to participate in the unwrapping and went off to her room crying. Mr. Max also wanted to leave, but his dad threatened him with a belt, and he was forced to open the horrible Kinder egg. To their surprise, there was some kind of little animal inside the egg. At first, Max screamed, but when the little animal sat on his legs and began to crow, he calmed down and even petted this strange beast. Dad freaked out. Unboxing was a disaster. The video was ruined. He told Mr. Max to clear the table and throw everything in the trash along with this little freak. Mr. Max did just that. He packed everything in a box and headed to the trash. As he approached the trash can, a large dog attacked him. It was about to bite him, but suddenly the little animal jumped out of the box and pounced on the dog. He tore off its tail, and it ran away yelping. Mr. Max was shocked. He didn't know how to thank his savior. I guess I should feed it, he thought. They went to the store and bought carrots, meat, Chupa Chups, and milk. The little animal didn't react to the milk at all. Then Mr. Max offered him some meat. He greedily gobbled up the whole piece. But when Max gave him some carrots, he ran away as if scalded, as if someone wanted to kill him. Mr. Max beckoned to him with the chewbacca. It attacked him like crazy, almost biting off his hand. Together they went home. Max didn't tell anyone about it. He secretly sheltered the little animal in his room, naming it Rafa. The next day, Mr. Max was surprised. Rafa had grown in size and become more agile. Miss Katie's beloved cat, Tishka, came into the room. They had a falling out with the little animal. A fight ensued, and the little animal won. He bit off the poor cat's head. Mr. Max didn't know what to do. Then Miss Katie knocked on the door. He threw the cat out the window and opened the door for his sister. She was looking for her beloved Tishka. Mr. Max pretended not to see him and, citing a headache, sent Miss Katie out of the room. So Rafa lived in their house for several days. He became completely insane, taking over Mr. Max's bed, crawling into the refrigerator at night and eating all the sweets and meat in there. Max realized this couldn't go on and was wondering where to put this strange creature. One day, they were watching TV together. They were showing a program about Chernobyl. It's a city where a radioactive disaster occurred. In the program, a local resident talked about monsters that, according to the description, resembled Rafa. He called them Chupagaji. Mr. Max thought they were his relatives and decided to take Rafa to Chernobyl. But for this, he needed help. Mr. Max found our stalker community on vKontakte and asked me to help him become his guide to Chernobyl. He didn't tell the whole truth, just made up a story about wanting new experiences in an abandoned city. I agreed to go with him for $2,000 and invited my stalker friend along. Mr. Max stole the money from the house and paid us, hiding Rafa in his backpack. We took a bus to Chernobyl. There, Mr. Max told us he wanted to see the locals, so we went looking for them. On the outskirts of town, we found a run-down house, and a local lived there. It was the same guy from the news. Mr. Max started asking him about some chupa gags. He told me that these mutants live at the very same nuclear power plant where the tragedy that contaminated the city occurred. I found it funny. What kind of chupa gags were they? I thought the local was crazy. The local also said that these mutants might have mutated from a lollipop and a goose. Finally, the local picked some carrots from the garden and gave them to us, saying that chupa gags are afraid of carrots. It was late at night when we reached the nuclear power plant.
But in such darkness, we decided not to go inside. We had to pitch a tent and light a fire. We finally sat down to rest. And in the silence, I heard a sound coming from Mr. Max's backpack. We ran into Max, and he told us the whole truth. He took out this mutant and showed it to us. I realized we were in danger, that these mutants really existed. We got out carrots and got ready to fight off these monsters. Suddenly, we heard a rustling sound in the bushes. We all shook with fear, but it turned out to be a cat. Rafa pounced on it and devoured it. My friend and I were stunned by this, and Mr. Max calmly informed us that Rafa was just a little hungry. I was even more worried. If this little chupagak can calmly eat a cat, then what do the big chupagaks eat? After a long journey, we were very sleepy, and we all fell asleep. Morning came. I looked around and didn't see my friend. He was gone. We thought he'd gone off to explore the station without us, so we followed him. Getting closer, we saw the chupagaks. They were eating something. After checking the bickle, I saw the remains of my friend and dropped the binoculars in fright. The binoculars fell loudly, attracting the chupagaks. They rushed after us. I saw the remains of my friend and dropped the binoculars in fright. The binoculars fell loudly, attracting the chupagaks' attention. They rushed after us. We ran into the nearest house and locked the door with a closet. The chupagaks tried to kick down the door and crawled along the walls, trying to climb into the windows. I remembered the carrots and started throwing them down. When the carrots hit, the chupagaks simply flew into pieces. Rafa started helping me. He pushed his fellow chupagaks out of the window, and Mr. Max continued to cry. I used my last carrot and asked Mr. Max if he had any more. He took out a Chupa Chups and told me that the Chupa Chups really love sweets. I had an idea how to escape this mess. Taking a Chupa Chups out of the window, I beckoned to the mutants. The mutants immediately noticed the sweets and became even more fussy. I threw the Chupa Chups away from the house, and the Chupa Chups pounced on it. While they were distracted, we climbed out the window on the other side of the house and took off running. We ran very fast and were very tired. I looked around and realized we were on the other side of town and there was no way out, since the bus stop was near a nuclear power plant. I noticed a fuel truck nearby and suggested blowing up the nuclear power plant along with the Chupa Chups. We needed to crash the fuel truck into the building, which would cause an explosion. We started the fuel truck and tried to secure the steering wheel and gas pedal so it would move without the driver, but we didn't have the necessary items, and there was no way to do it. Unexpectedly, Rafa climbed into the cab of the tanker and made a show of pushing the gas himself. We were very surprised. Could he really understand everything? We felt very sorry for him. Rafa waved goodbye and stepped on the gas. The tanker sped off, knocking down trees and fences along the way. It crashed into the mutants' lair, and there was a powerful explosion. Rafa died, saving us all. We ran towards the bus stop. Just then, a regular bus pulled up. Mr. Max noticed the two-headed cat and grabbed it. When we returned home, Mr. Max gave this funny cat to his sister, and she was very happy with the gift. And I decided to give up stalking anymore, as it is a very dangerous activity, and chose a safer hobby, fishing.